How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast, a podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. Super Gibby, the man, the myth, the legend, is back in the
Yo,
saddle. Stoked to have him back. It's been a while and we missed him. And today we've got New Jersey band Green Knuckle Material on the show. Dan, welcome to the show.
that's both of us.
Yo, thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. So let's hop into it. They're both on the road, so we're gonna get into the nitty gritty here. So you guys just released your latest single, "Beg for It," which has a bit of like a Americana blues fusion sort of vibe to the first half of it. You just released that on February 21st. Tell us a bit about the song and how's the response been for it?
Well, the song, I think you kind of nailed it with the genre you put it in. It's totally different than what we've done in the past. It definitely has that bluesy kind of feel, um, and then it kind of bursts into this climactic, rockin' solo, and then I really test myself vocally with, I guess you could call it a scream. It doesn't quite reach like hardcore scream levels, but it definitely hits a little bit harder, and it's something, like I said, totally unique to us. And like we've been kind of putting out a lot of these pop punk and pop sounding songs, and so this was a nice change up. And
Yeah,
a lot of our core fans like just absolutely loved it. Their response was really 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 good, and the streams haven't been as impressive as we had hoped, but we're still just going to keep grinding, and I think Dan has more you can say on that.
Yeah, I feel like it's one for the fans, especially if you see us live. Like the song, people they want to listen to it, but like only a small percentage of our audience has ever seen us perform live, or really like is super into the music. Probably most of our audience is just like discovering our music still. So it's not really a great song for discovery. It's not gonna grow the band like a Julia did or Daydreamin' did or some of
sure.
those other poppier songs. But it's really like sometimes it's nice to put out a song for your audience and also for yourselves. Like it's a song that we enjoyed. Brandon, our guitar player, and I we really like. We both came up playing the blues. We both are like blues players at heart.
Yeah.
When Dan he wrote this song so many years ago, and we always wanted to do it, and we just like because it was so bluesy, it didn't really fit the style of the music, so we just kept pushing
Hmm.
it off, and we always had it like in the backpack. And then when our producer Greg flew out to Jersey, and we were just like going over a bunch of demos. Sorry, my car is beeping.
Oh, you're good.
We were pushed out a bunch of demos. We didn't even demo the song. Dan just was playing it and played it for him, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is one of the ones we have to do." So, but bus is not reversing. Sorry, you now have you have real life road trip stuff in here. Uh,
Real life road tripping.
yeah, which this song is great if you're going on a road trip.
It it is. It's a good jam. I think they're all kind of, good jams, good for road trips.
Yeah, we're a real road trip friendly band.
Nice. Yes. You
Maybe
you could
not like
definitely
acid trip friendly, but definitely road trip friendly.
you could definitely get like, you know, get a little mix CD, a burnt CD with all the, little compilation going. It'll be a good time. Just go old school. Burnt
My
the
car doesn't
CD
even
for
have a
you.
CD player anymore, so
Oh no.
I feel
It's
like no
been a
cars
sad,
do.
sad time.
Sad
Yeah,
times.
we still sell CDs, and people still buy them. I don't know what they do with them.
I still buy CDs even though I have
Yeah.
no intent. I have no way to play them.
Yeah.
I
People
like
just like to
physical
have them to
media.
buy.
Yeah.
A
It's
lot
the
of people buy
physical
them.
media.
Yeah, they buy them. They ask us to autograph them, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm.
Uh, we've autographed some other weird stuff. I had somebody buy a hat, an autographed hat, and they bought it, and they didn't even see us play. They just got to like the show late, and they liked the hat, and they
Love it.
asked for an autograph.
Love
And they
it.
asked for Dan's autograph, even though I was standing right there. They didn't ask for my autograph.
Nice.
Well, they didn't know who was in the band.
Yeah, they didn't see the band, so like, oh, I was like, yeah, my bass player is coming over because he had the card reader. They're like, can he sign it? I was like, sure, he can sign it for you.
He's like, you want me to sign it? They're like, no, you're just the merch person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out here,
Yeah,
merch
clearly.
guy. Merchy.
So you kind of touched on this. You released 2 singles, Daydreaming and Sleeping on a Good Time in 2024, and Beg for It Now this year. Do you guys have a new album or EP in the works, or just currently focusing on singles?
It's all part of an album. We're just like slow rolling them out. I think we got like 4 left,
Okay.
which I don't know when we're doing the next one. It really depends on whenever Dan gets the artwork prepared.
Okay. Okay.
But we got 4 more songs left off this album to release. 2 really like super poppy ones. A real like another pop, like heavy pop punk type one, and then another one that's like kind of like funky pop punk kind of thing. I don't know
Okay.
how to describe it. Never mind. You'd have to ask Stan.
Yeah, it's super alternative. It's like a really alternative song. It sounds really great. And it kind of has like it's got these really unique bluesy chords, and then it's got the pop hook and this kind of intimate, cool sounding verse, and then again explodes into like that climactic guitar solo. So it's kind of all over the place. I think that's another one for us. It's really well received live. So that's probably my favorite song to play live too at the moment. I just think it's really, really cool, and people like it. So I'm excited for it to come out, but I don't know if it's going to be as algorithmically attuned as the other like 2 straight up, just pop formula songs that are coming, which I'm also super excited for because I like them. I think they're really cool songs. But
Yeah, we have like 2 called "Open Your Eyes" and "Close." Close like clothing, close, not close like close the door.
Okay.
And those are extremely poppy, and I think they're going to do very well for us. I hope.
Hell yeah.
right.
Well, I'm excited to hear them. So you also have, the Beg for It tour coming up March 12th, starting it. Like, where are you looking forward to playing the most?
Besides Jersey, because we got a couple shows in Jersey. There's one
You
in
do.
Butler that we wrapped the tour up with. I would say Hartford actually looks like it's going to be a really fun show. Hartford's been selling really well, which is the day before the Butler show. Those are at the end of the tour. And Philly's always a good time. So probably Philly just because we can get cheesesteaks.
And cheesesteaks are
Oh
always
yeah.
good.
Yeah, there's a place right by the venue that I want to try. I heard they have really good cheesesteaks. So
What's it called? Do you know offhand?
Della Rosa's.
Okay.
Yeah. Have apparently good cheesesteak and pizza. So I kind of only think about food.
That's well. Then
Yeah,
you're gonna be ready, like coming into the future here. It's gonna be a good time.
And we're starting on this Friday in Yonkers.
Nice. Well,
I
that's good.
see you guys are playing with Goalkeeper. So sick. I love those guys.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
We got a show stuck in with them. I've been trying to play with them for a while because we haven't played with them. I would say probably like 7, 8 years was the last time we played with them. They were very small artists. When we played with them last, it was like a battle of the bands at Rowan because we were all Rowan students. A couple of them went to Rowan. Dan was still an active student at the time. I was an alum. And neither of us won the battle of the bands.
Yeah, I was gonna say we both lost.
Yeah, we both lost to. And you know what's funny? The guys that won, I think they were like running the battle of the bands or something. They were part of the club that was running the competition. So
cheat,
I don't know.
Cheat.
Like the fairest.
I don't know if that's the case, but
okay. But there was another girl there who was better than all of us, and she didn't win.
Sounds a little rigged to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying we should.
Oh yeah, Soph.
Yeah, I'm saying
Soph was really good.
I'm saying she should have won. She was very talented.
Well, we ended up seeing Soph again.
Yeah,
where was it? Like that one festival?
the Medford Oktoberfest.
Yeah, she was good, and she won crowd favorite, so she was like a consolation winner that day.
Nice.
Yeah, she should have won. She was.
Yep. You know, but it's all about who you know.
Yeah,
And
well,
Well, we won the Stone Pony.
Oh, we won the Stone Pony Rock to the Top.
Yeah.
That was cool. We were
Yep.
the last winners, so we're technically still the champs.
Look at you. Look at that. There you go.
I've only played one Battle of the Bands, and we lost, but we got the consolation prize of playing a big festival in our hometown, which was really cool. But we were just like on like a side stage that like was obviously a vendor owned spot. But we played after Drowning Pool, so I'll always say Drowning Pool opened up for me.
We've done that because you guys are familiar with the Stone Pony or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they have the summer stage where they'll have huge national touring acts. It's like a 5,000 cap outdoor space, and then they have after parties, and we've done the after party for like Rise Against, Revolution, Dashboard Confessional. So we always say that like, thanks Rise Against for opening for us.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love it.
Those shows are fun too.
I bet.
It's like it's easy to sell tickets for them. It's just like you're selling tickets a little bit cheaper for a really big show, and a lot of people want to go see those artists anyway. So
Right.
it's always an easy sell.
I can imagine.
So Green Knuckle Material started in 2017 with a much different sound. Like the Renaissance EP features some really impressive piano leads on the song Hole, some saxophone. It has much more of a rock or reggae vibe. How would you say your sound has evolved since the band first started?
So Renaissance was the earliest thing you've listened to, right?
That's the earliest, yeah.
Yeah, because so we had an album before that called Back to Your Roots.
Okay.
That was like a different rapper when we had a rapper.
Okay.
And I was the lead singer. Not even Dan wasn't even in the band yet, and that's only available on Bandcamp. If you ever
Okay.
want to but
well, I definitely have to hear something with some rapping in it. I definitely read stuff about a rapper.
Yeah, we had and he was great. He was really a talented rapper. His flow was very unique. A good writer. But we kind of moved away from the rap thing after he left the band. We really wanted to focus more on Dan as the front man and the lead singer.
Sure.
And then so I would say, what was the EP we did? The first one where it was just you, Dan, with the rock, not the actor.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah,
you got the rock on an album?
The Nothing Set in Stone.
Yeah.
Nothing Set.
Yeah, we didn't have the final boss on the album, but
there you go. Nice.
Would have loved that.
Yeah, so that album was fun, and I really love those songs. And it's the only CD we sell, but we don't play anything off that album anymore because it was like an awkward phase where we were like, those songs were all written with a rapper on them, and then we transitioned to them to be like just purely vocal.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan did some rapping on like Will of Fire, which is one of my favorite songs. Honestly, we just don't play it anymore. There's a lot of songs off that album that I really like, but I feel like we changed our sound so much, starting with Julia, and then we started working really closely with Greg, and we were working with another producer, Kyle Black, for a while, and we just really started shifting more towards that like poppy pop punk thing.
Yeah,
and I think we're kind of happy with where we're going with the music. We're still like quite an eclectic sound.
I agree.
We don't agree to just do one thing. We try to just make good songs, and I think we're slowly growing and honing in on what we want our sound to be, and just kind of coming into it naturally instead of trying to force something.
Hell yeah. I agree. I think like you definitely like because you've got like that pop and the pop punk sound and stuff, but like it's definitely unique. You know, you don't sound like other pop punk bands. So
I don't think we ever will because we have just a different kind of vocalist. Like Dan is a traditional pop singer.
Sure.
You know, he's not doesn't have a super hot, like he's got a really good range,
Hmm.
but he's not like an Anthony Green where he's just up here all the time
Right.
and he doesn't scream.
Right.
You know, he could scream a little bit, but
Though I got pretty close on Beg for It. It's close, as close as I can get, I think.
that's
But I feel like
okay.
the like we all have these different influences, and then I love just like mainstream pop music. I'm not ashamed to say it. I love when it's just like that really cool melody, really nice catchy hook, and
Yeah.
I just love that kind of music. So I was always kind of just dragging it that way because that's what I like to sing. And but you still have these other influences kind of expanding it. So it just kind of it gets molded. You still get the catchy hook and the cool melodies, but then you have these, really cool guitar licks and, not traditional pop bass lines and these very pop punkish drums. And then the other type of music that I just loved growing up was like hard rock music. So like Bullet for My Valentine, 3 Days Grace, and then also pop punk music. So once we started kind of going that direction, it became a lot easier. I was like, oh, okay. So you still have those pop punk elements, the hard rock elements, and then mixed with sort of that pop formula. And that's kind of what we got with Julia.
Hmm.
And that hit really, really hard. And then so we've been along those parameters ever since, pretty much, with but still branching out and creating unique songs. We're not just trying to put out like a pop hit. That's not the goal. We want to write cool music. And it just kind of takes that pop form naturally because I love pop so much. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So I guess like I'm gonna jump forward a little bit here, Gibby, with like this question, since like this is what we're we just got this from Dan 1. We'll go to Dan 2 with it. So like because the band has so many, like from what I've listened to, is a lot of different genres, genre fusion, fusing together. So who would you say were some of your bands or artists? Both, if you have other answers as well, Dan, just respond with this as well. But who would you say were some of your bands or artists that not only influenced your unique style, but inspired you to want to be a musician in the first place?
I would say for our style, I feel like Maroon 5 is a big influence.
Okay.
Especially now. Uh, we went through a whole phase where we were just kind of obsessed with Adam Levine. Not even him as a singer, just him as a guy. So attractive. Uh, it's not
So you
weird.
get tons of tattoos like all over your front torso and
Oh, Dan,
never wear a shirt.
he just
Never wear a shirt.
more abs and tattoos.
Yeah.
Has to be
Got it.
60.
Got it.
Nobody in the band has a piercing or a tattoo. Nobody in the band.
Well, I guess you're not that influenced by Adam Levine, I guess, but
Well, we're not as cool as him, but yeah, I would say
We can't pull that off like he does.
yeah, especially musically. Like I feel like early Maroon 5 is something we all really enjoy, and it kind of melds like rock and pop in a way that we are also kind of doing it unintentionally. We don't
Sure.
set out and say like let's make a Maroon 5 song, but I think that comes pretty close to what we're trying to do. Because like I said, he's like a pop singer,
Hmm.
and so is Dan. Dan's a pop singer. As for like what got me into music, I would say probably my dad was a big influence because my dad was a professional musician for a good chunk of his life, and he was a bass player also. He taught me how to play. Yeah, I didn't start playing bass till I was maybe 20 years old,
Okay.
and I just went in the basement, and he's like, "You want to learn how to play this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I just started playing music. So this is pretty easy. But yeah, it's hard for us to say like, at least me to say what is influencing the band because I really don't know. I feel like it's like I think because Dan and I are the lyricists, we really focus on the story, or like I like to focus on the story of the song, and Dan focuses more on like the craftsmanship of the lyrics.
Sure.
I feel like he's a more craftier lyricist than I am, and I just like come up with good ideas for stories to tell.
Okay.
but maybe. But then you have a song like Hole, where Dan just literally improv all those lyrics in the moment
That was
for that song,
completely
and lyrically, and you don't even realize, but like you don't realize it when you first listen to it, but if you look at those lyrics, they are freaking really good. Like they're really really good lyrics. Sometimes I listen, I'm like, how did he do this on the just on the spot like that? Because they're so deep, and they could mean a million different things. You come with all these meanings, but you get what it's about. Even though Dan probably didn't understand what it was about, it still doesn't himself. But
not about sex.
I think it's about that though. I think it's what it's about. So,
Maybe
and I think most people would agree. It's literally called Hole. I don't know, but
yeah, I just saw an interview with Billy Corgan where he was talking about that, like where you like as a lyricist and a songwriter, you'll subconsciously write things without even knowing that you're writing it. Like he was talking about a song that he wrote where he thought he wrote it about his ex-girlfriend and a relationship that ended. And then he was like really high listening to the song. And he's like, holy shit, I wrote this about my mother. And, like not having a mother as a child growing up. So, sometimes you do write things subconsciously. You don't really know what the song is about until it's done, but you just have it like within you. Like, I don't know why these words are coming to me. Our original, one of our original members, Ryan, used to say that to me. I'm like, oh man, how'd you write that? And he's like, I didn't write it, man. I just kind of was already there. I just found it. He was like a legit hippie. He's actually a cattle farmer in Falls right now.
And going on with Ryan, so like that was always this thing. It was like, I just pull, like, it exists and I'm pulling it out of the air, And then people always ask us about the name Green Knuckle Material, and like that was Ryan. I think he just pulled 3 words out of the air, and then it just stuck for years and years and years. So none of us really know what it means or why it is. And
it just
there's no explanation for it. Yeah, it just is, man. Exactly.
Yeah,
I only played with him for he was only really like he started the band and he named the band, but he was only with the band for a short amount of time. But he really influenced me a lot as a musician, also in the way that I write and the way I approach songwriting. Because he was a great improv on like as an acoustic guitar player and as a lyricist. Like everything he did was just off the cuff, top of his head. He was so talented. He was really good at guitar too. He didn't really even understand why he was so good. Like he didn't understand that he was even that good.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, interesting guy.
It's a good story. I love that.
Really.
Since we're talking about the old days of the band. So since we're talking about like the old days of the band, your guys' first show was a house show in New Brunswick. And you played a few house shows in those early days. What do you like most about that DIY ethos of a house show compared to like these larger cap venues?
You want to go first, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a New Brunswick house show is probably my favorite type of gig to play. What was the name of the one? The Crypt, I think.
Crypt.
Our sold out show at the Crypt.
That was actually that we sold
it. Not actually that we sold it out, but it was just a packed house, and that basement just went absolutely nuts. Like I had a guy standing in front of the microphone, like shielding it from all the people moshing. And I don't know, that type of environment is just, that's it. I crave that, and it's easy to get addicted to that. That sense of community and that intimacy of the smaller crowd and just being in a packed basement with people who just love music for the sake of music and love new music and love the scene. That is really, that's one of the things that hooked me as a musician. And I'll take that any day over a bigger venue.
100%.
For sure.
I've been thinking about the next tour we do being like strictly DIY house shows.
I would love that.
Yeah.
No.
So maybe the next tour we'll do that. It's tough. Those shows are actually tougher to book than venues, though.
Well, yeah. There's that many of them, and you have to either know people or like you got to find them.
And even when you like, it's tough. They're not that hard to find, but they're definitely harder to get because so there's a demand for them. Bands, they probably get so many submissions from so many bands. I used to be like a house show promoter, so I know firsthand everybody's coming to you looking for shows. You can only do so many shows. You only have so much time on your.
All right, guys. Well, I got a great investment for all of us right now.
Okay.
Yesterday on Facebook, I saw I followed this thing called Zillow Gone Wild. It shows like crazy like Zillow postings. There's a house in Northfield, Ohio for $624,000, right? It has 2 stages with like full PA systems, a recording studio, a whole like gym like floor that's like crazy looking, like a lounge for the studio, another like jam room.
Where is this place to where that's only $600,000 or whatever?
Mansfield, Ohio.
They have a whole gym floor.
Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I'm like, good Lord, man! Like my house, which has, let me tell you, none of that is like $250,000.
Well, I'm gonna link it to everyone on Instagram. We could all check it out on our free time. Let me know because this is a great investment plan.
Does it have like no water and electricity?
It looks like it runs really well. Like there's a whole laser room.
Like what's the closest nearby school?
I don't know, but let me tell you, you have 2 acres of land to yourself.
Okay, I guess we're moving to Ohio.
Like, what were they using this house for?
It looks like it was like a professional like studio. Like there's a bar. Like, there's like an actual bar. Like it has like a mini fridge. It looks like it has like a liquor just up there.
Are there ghosts? Like why?
I'll let there be ghosts. Like if I'm
cool with ghosts.
Book house shows every day. Let's do it.
And then ghost hunt by night. I'm in.
I feel like for that price, though, these are malicious ghosts.
Yeah, there's got to be something, but
there's got to be a catch. But 600, I'm telling all 4 of us right now, we could get on the ground floor. If everyone here chips in 200,000 each and hands it to me,
that's it.
I'll put in the 24 grand and we're good.
I do know a guy. I can make some phone calls.
All right.
I'd say I sent the post to everybody on Instagram so y'all could check it out later and get back to me because I'm telling you.
Well,
I love that this is a real proposal. Like you're actually proposing this.
He's like, this is it. And now that hopefully we get it. Hopefully we get this before the show airs so somebody doesn't steal it from us.
That's why it's only linked to us.
Uh-huh.
They got to find that link.
Because they certainly can't, Google the information that you shared. But that's cool. I love it. That's a great idea.
And then we just book house shows, sell it out every day. We make our money back easy.
Easy. I love it. Dunsies. Okay. We got one more question before we go to a quick break here. If you guys could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your musical journey, what would that be?
You got one, Dan? Because I need to think for a second.
I'm trying to think. There's so many.
There are.
Don't have an ego. Get a producer, get an engineer.
That's so good.
Work with, be willing to learn and go in being like, I am a student of the craft, not a master of the craft. And if you keep that mentality your whole life within anything, with, sports, work, professional, not just music, I think you'll be more successful. You should always be willing to learn and try to learn from other people. And also on the flip side, be willing to teach what you've learned and hand that down to people that you can help as well.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off of that. I think that's so good.
Mhm.
You're not as good as you think you are, and you have to constantly be getting better. Like you have to constantly keep improving. You have to practice. That's so key.
Mhm.
So,
And you're also not as
especially
good as you think you are, because a lot of people think they're really bad when they're actually really good.
yeah, you're not as bad either. I came in as a 19-year-old, and like the first thing I did was tell Dan's dad, a musician of 40 years, that the chord he was choosing was wrong, even though I didn't even know the name of the chord. So, and he put me in my place real quick, and now we get along really well.
Dan has no
8 years later.
at all.
I love
He
it.
might have a
Oh
negative.
yeah, no. I've just been the nail that sticks out is the one that gets hammered down the hardest, I guess. So I'm definitely deep in the wood. That came out wrong.
You're on the opposite side of that, where like he'll be like, my voice hurts today. I was so bad. I'm like, you sounded amazing.
I'm like crying, like head in my knees after a show. I'm like, I'm so terrible.
I feel like that's like so standard for just about everybody, though. Anyone that's a singer or just a performer in every way. I don't think I've ever come off stage or been with a person that's come off stage, hung out with friends that have come off stage, and anyone ever being fucking pleased with their performance. Everyone's always like, "Oh, it's fine. I've done better. It's whatever. It's fine." But it's like you were fucking awesome and you were damn near perfect. Yeah, but there was like I was a little pitchy. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, I'm just happy if I keep my mistakes to like the single digits in a set.
Yeah, I mean, it's a live performance. You're not made to be. You don't have to be perfect. Even Prince fucked up in his to himself. I'm sure he was like, "It's fucking garbage. I was the worst."
I actually thought of another piece of advice I think is really key, and that's to be grateful for every opportunity that you have and always grateful for where you are, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I wish we could play a bigger venue, bigger crowds, this. I wish we could have a better time slot, and we hear it from bands that are in much better spots than us, There's always going to be more. Even if you're at the top, there's still probably more in some way.
Right.
So you need to always just keep that in mind and just remember to enjoy the moment and enjoy the adventure and the journey, because like it really is about that adventure and about the memories you make as you're like grinding away. We've been at it 8 years and we're not anywhere where we want to be, right? But we have to remember that we're so much further than where we were, and to really enjoy every moment of where we're at right now. That's huge.
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
100. I agree. 100%. It's all that's great advice. So everybody, you listening, you're a musician, take that shit to heart, because
if you want to be nowhere like us, follow that advice.
You guys are on your way to somewhere, coming from somewhere at this exact moment. So
we're both in the car.
Cool it. Exactly. All right. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our next segment. I want to say thank you again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us to help bring even more new artists to your attention. Open Your Ears Records is an amazing independent record label out of Richmond, Virginia, with a killer friggin' lineup of up-and-coming bands and artists. We've talked about this now. And this week, we're stoked to tell you about the second track, Pressure, from Providence, Rhode Island band Another One Down. It's off of their highly anticipated upcoming EP, Face Reality, releasing May 2nd. Now let me tell you a little bit about the band in case you've been missing out and don't know who they are yet. Well, Another One Down continues reinventing their sound with records containing everything from massive pop-punk anthems, aggressive fast-paced rock tracks, and shimmering ambient ballads. Their lyrics tackle the struggles that come with self-reflection, depression, and heartbreak with a mature and emotional vulnerability. With such a diverse and rich catalog, Another One Down truly has something for everybody. You're going to love them. And you can check out our interview with them back on episode 104 or season 3, episode 35. Thank you again so much to Open Your Ears Records for sponsoring this week's episode.
We're huge wrestling fans.
Oh,
Me
we
too.
love WWE.
Me too. I have the Attitude Era belt in my background.
Oh, I didn't even
Nice.
see that there.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the winged eagle?
No, it's better. It's the Big Eagle.
Okay.
So how do you guys feel about Cena's heel turn?
It broke my heart, and it
Legendary.
was all Cody's fault.
It's the
Uh,
best. It's
You know
the
what?
fucking best.
If Cody
Love
didn't
it.
curse in front of children, John Cena didn't have to teach him a lesson. That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree.
It
Cody
is
yeah,
should have
the,
been the one to turn heel. He just didn't want to give up those merch sales. He's
I love it.
selfish business
Yeah,
for
look
himself.
at this is
Oh, that's gorgeous.
yeah.
I
See,
love it, though.
everyone says that the Wing Eagle, like that classic one, is the best belt. I think this is the best belt, and I
That's a
will
good-
die on this hill.
I do like that one. I like the smoking skull one
yeah.
that Stone Cold had, and even the Brahma Bull one that The Rock had was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool, but like those are like spin-offs of it still. Like those were like used like once or twice. Like if I'm
Yeah.
thinking like consistent belts like this, the spinner belt, the
Yeah. The
the
fucking
undisputed
spinner belt.
the undisputed one that came before the spinner belt. This is like, to me, this is like my favorite belt.
That's a nice one. Well, then there's the new hardcore champion, Travis Scott, with his hardcore belt.
Now what? Fuck Travis Scott.
What
God
was
damn.
he doing? What was he doing that whole segment? He was like,
I don't know. Being a waste of space, I can't stand Travis Scott.
He was burning sage in the corner.
He was burning sage.
Was I
Fucking
was
weirdo.
I thought he
like,
was actually smoking a joint.
I wish he was smoking a joint. That would have been at least entertaining.
Is it true?
For another
Is it true that he actually? Sorry, is it true that he actually ruptured Cena's eardrum, or is that fake news?
No, it's
Cody
Cody
here.
Rhodes and
yeah,
I mean,
think
no, that he ruptured Cody Rhodes'
So-
eardrum.
so Cody Rhodes said that's not what happened, but
Okay.
I think he got a ruptured eardrum, but he said it wasn't from Travis Scott. But Travis Scott did fucking actually hit him like a dipshit.
hit the shit out.
but knowing Cody, he probably was like, lay
He
it
probably
in.
told him to. Yeah, he
He
probably
probably
told
was like, lay it in.
Yeah, no, he's a pro, Cody. He's, he'll take it. He doesn't care.
All right, we're canceling the food
You're a
segment.
closeted
This is
Cody
the
Rhodes
wrestling
fan, Dan.
segment now.
Dan will always hate on Cody Rhodes, but he's actually a closet Cody Rhodes fan.
I like
Oh, I
Cody
love
Rhodes.
Cody.
I like him. I'm a real person. I don't like his character.
I think Cody
I can
Rhodes
get behind that.
I think Cody Rhodes is fine. Personally, if I were going to pick my favorite Cody Rhodes era, it would be the disgusting era when he wore the mask, like after he like broke his nose
no.
or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Way
yeah.
fucking back in the day. That was my favorite.
Stardust was the best Cody Rhodes. He should
Oh,
go back.
gross. No.
I hope we save these and post these just as clips because these are good clips.
He should go back to Stardust.
Oh my gosh.
Oof.
I was really hoping one day he's gonna come out to it as like for like a
As a
house show or
troll.
something.
Yeah.
I thought it should have been a stipulation in the ladder match with Kevin Owens that if he loses, he has to go back to Stardust.
Yeah, Kevin Owens should have fucking put that stipulation in there. Then Cody would really not want to lose.
Yeah. Well, fun fact: Goldust was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Goldust is all right. I
Hall of Famer.
my
Oh, yeah.
my favorite CM Punk. Oh, it has been since
Can't stand
2012.
Yeah,
I
don't
got
like
my CM Punk flag in my garage, and pipe bomb baby is the best.
More like
Best in the
plot
world.
armor Punk.
Yeah,
Plot Arbor Punk.
I was always
Unkillable.
a John Cena fan, so
You what?
I was a big John Cena fan, so I never
I
liked Punk.
I've always liked John Cena as well, even when like he was just hated on super bad, but like I mean, he's fun. I don't think he's a good wrestler per se, but like he's fun.
He's mid as a wrestler, but he's like so is Jey Uso, another guy who's like super
I
You
over,
see,
not that.
I
I
great.
don't
think
watch
what it is, though.
WWE. I don't
I
watch
think what it is.
WWE for
Oh, go ahead.
wrestling quality though. That's what I watch AEW for. If I want to
I don't
watch
even do
good
that
wrestling,
anymore.
I watch AEW. If I want to watch the drama and the story, then I watch WWE.
You know, that's a good point.
That's Jey,
I-
good wrestler.
I was the only one rooting for Jey Uso at the Rumble. I had my Yeet shirt on. I was eating. Nobody else was eating with me, and then he freaking won it.
I was pretty pumped when he won because I was just like, you know what? Like, I mean, it's a bummer because he's not championship quality. Like he's good, but he's great as a tag team wrestler. He's fine as a singles wrestler.
I'm
But
about to say something very controversial here.
He's
I
the
wanna-
main event.
yes, he does call himself that.
I'm about to say something very controversial here.
What's that?
He's gonna be another Kofi where the win is good, that's the moment, but the reign is gonna be
Yeah.
bad. Like,
Yeah.
cool, hell yeah, you grinded this for years, finally got it, won it at the got your WrestleMania moment with the world title, and everything else isn't gonna be memorable.
No, no Yeet.
No,
Listen.
I
No, you
feel
to
like
that.
I feel like if they give him the title, to be honest, I don't feel like it'll be at WrestleMania. I think they'll give him the title, but I don't think it'll be WrestleMania.
he's gonna beat Gunther at
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
there's no way he's not gonna.
There's no way they're gonna
He's
make him
gotta.
lose like what 3 times to Gunther now.
I mean, we saw how many losses of Cody Rhodes to fucking Roman Reigns.
Just once,
True.
just the one.
Just the one, yeah.
Just the one.
Just the
Yeah.
one.
At Wrestle, are you saying WrestleMania losses or losses? Period.
Well, he lost at 39, and then he won at 40.
Yeah, for WrestleMania losses.
Well, that was the only time he competed against Roman for the title.
As far as I know, yeah.
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He did, him and Cena beat Roman and Sammy in a tag match, and that's really the only time I can really think of.
Fair
For
enough.
whatever reason, I just felt like he wrestled Roman a bunch of times. It just felt
Same.
like such a long.
Same.
They just feuded for a long time, but they only really had the matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I could.
Olympics
So
of PLE.
I thought there was like a year fucking build up that just it took so fucking long.
it was a
And it
year
was like,
build up.
I'm gonna finish my story, and then he fucking lost. It was like it was the weirdest fucking story ever.
And then after that, he basically built himself back up, won the Rumble, and then
Yeah.
then
And then
another
won.
like few months of the feud. Because they kept
then
him
had the
on
most
different
boring
brands for
title
like
reign.
after WrestleMania.
Yeah. All right. We gotta get back onto the show though.
Yeah.
All right, Gibby, bring us back.
Maybe we'll keep this. We'll see.
We might keep some of it.
And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around. We're hopping into the next segment, everyone's favorite segment, the segment I miss the most, the food for thought segment. Because who doesn't love talking about food?
I love food.
Me
With
too.
jam.
I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm
Just
ready
an
to
energy
be
drink.
starving. Just my energy drink. All right, we're gonna settle a debate. Whatever you guys are gonna answer this, and it's gonna be fact now.
Facts.
Pizza and bagels. Is it better in New York or New Jersey?
Jersey.
Jersey for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys heard it here first. Now, if anyone says anything else, you're wrong. You heard it here first.
It's not even close.
We always got to ask. And the last the last episode that I recorded was also another person from New Jersey. You know, they all say the same thing. And the thing is, I think it's funny. You know, I'm from Minnesota. Gibby's from, you know, Texas, Wisconsin, and now Washington. And it's just funny to me because I have friends in Jersey, I have friends in New York. There is, I don't think, a bigger fucking feud in the world than New York and New Jersey with just about anything. But pizza and bagels is the funniest fucking thing to me because, like, it now, you know, me as I'm not from there. I think it's the fucking same thing. But you guys you'll fist fight over this shit. Like, fight to the death.
They have good pizza and they have decent bagels. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
closer
learning
than it is with bagels for sure.
I'm learning a bit now. And so I was talking to somebody in Spain. I had to tell them about Jersey, like give them reasons to come to Jersey. And we have the best bagels in the world. And they're like, that's the reason I should come to Jersey. I'm like, the bagels are good enough.
Oh, I think we might have lost them.
I mean, you cut out pretty much that whole thing.
That was a good story too.
It probably was. He might have to repeat it.
I think he said he had a friend from Spain
Okay.
that he was trying to get them to come visit New Jersey. He told him, like, what do you have in New Jersey? He said bagels. And he said the bagels are good enough that you should come to America, to Jersey. And they really are good enough.
Yeah, I mean, I visited Long Island and I got some bagels. I thought they were pretty good. They're pretty good bagels.
Yeah. Oh, Long Island can hit it. You know, New York doesn't by any stretch. Jersey it's a little bit better. Some of the places.
Sure. I mean, once again, I'll take your word for it. It's been I don't know when the last time I had a New Jersey bagel was, or pizza. Definitely not pizza. I've had bagels for sure, but I don't know if I've ever had pizza in New Jersey.
It's the best. My favorite place is a place called Lodi Pizza. One of the best pizzas I've ever had. Best plain slice.
Nice. All right.
Get out to Jersey. Go there.
All right. Now this to me is another funny thing, and that I'm poking a little bit because this is another Jersey thing that I think is hilarious. But okay, it's another divisive Jersey topic is whether or not Central Jersey exists.
Well, I can tell you what me and Dan both believe because it's the same thing. It does not exist.
Okay.
There is North Jersey, and then there is a lot of South Jersey.
Okay.
Wait, I have a map right here. I was
gonna say, I'm gonna tell you right now that unfortunately it does exist. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy signed a law officially defining Central Jersey in August of 2023, which includes New Brunswick. So, with that being said,
oh my gosh,
New Brunswick is North Jersey.
It's Central Jersey. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. It is Central Jersey.
Guys, I have a map right here. Look at the water bottle. See the cap of the water bottle? That's North Jersey. Everything under the silver there, that's South Jersey. Can you see the water bottle?
I see the water bottle. However,
so that's the correct map.
You're going to have to bring it up with your Governor Phil Murphy.
I don't know. How much do you trust Phil Murphy? You know, we don't have shopping bags in our grocery stores because of that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, respect. Pay for the
I gotta
paper
carry
bags.
my groceries out in my arms.
Or you got to bring your own bag. We have that law here too in Minnesota.
You know what
Except-
happened in New Jersey with that law? People start buying the bags and throwing them out, leaving them on the floor in the grocery store parking lot.
That sounds really immature.
Yeah. Me, I just don't bring the bags. I'll just put everything in my car, and I have some hand baskets from ShopRite that I somehow came into that I used to bring my groceries in.
You know what us like wily Minnesotans do? We either buy the plastic. We still have the plastic bags. You could pay for them. Or we just bring our own bags and then bring them home.
And bring them home.
We bring them home like adults.
Do you know how many of those bags I have in my house? More than I can count.
That's fine. I do too, but I use all those plastic bags for cat litter. I clean my cat box with it and use those for my
I
garbage.
used to use those plastic bags for everything, and they took them away from us.
Oh, I
Murphy and his definition of Central Jersey.
You know, there's a Central Jersey Wikipedia page, and according to the Wikipedia page, there's over 3 million presidents in Central Jersey.
Man, this is
Wikipedia's fake news.
Yeah.
Wikipedia's fake news. I love it, guys. This is great. I love you guys. But what I was getting at with that though, New Brunswick, Central Jersey staple. Where would you say is a must-stop food destination that everybody needs to try in New Brunswick?
Oh, well, there's a crispy pizza in New Brunswick, so I would say there.
Crispy pizza, love it.
And then I haven't been to the one in New Brunswick, but I know there's one in New Brunswick. I go to the one in Old Bridge, which is relatively close to New Brunswick. And then Are You Hungry is good too. They used to have grease trucks where you could get these fat sandwiches. Now that there's a place on College Ave where you go, it's like a little shop called Are You Hungry? But they have these sandwiches. They're called fat sandwiches. They put like chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, French fries, there's everything just in a sandwich. You're going to have a heart attack a lot earlier from eating these, but they are so delicious. Yeah.
Sounds amazing. I love it. That I would fuck with that hard.
Yeah, that's another that's a Rutgers staple is the fat sandwiches.
Love it. Gibby, it looks like you've got your iconic your ranking question back.
I found it. I found a good little list here. So,
all right.
I have pulled up a website from visitnewjersey.org. Okay.
Run by Phil Murphy.
Run by Phil Murphy.
It has 5 iconic New Jersey foods. I'm gonna list them off one by one. You're gonna power rank them. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. You cannot change your pick.
Yeah. So once you rate it, it's rated.
Yep, okay, it's there. You're locked in. Once you pick it as 3, it's 3. Maybe if I'm generous, you could switch it up at the end, but there's 5 things on here. We'll start with saltwater taffy.
5.
Yeah, agreed. 5.
Easy.
Okay. Pork roll.
Well, it's actually called Taylor ham.
Yeah, Gibby, get with it. You know it's Taylor ham, dude.
Hey,
actually,
I'm
what
just
do you
reading
think
what the
this is,
website
Central Jersey, bud?
Guys, that's actually how you know. That's how you know if it's North or South Jersey. If they say Taylor ham, they're from North Jersey. If they say pork roll, they're from South Jersey.
That's fair.
Wait, hold on. Let's see where this is from.
That's what we've heard as well.
I live in South Jersey now, so I didn't react to the pork roll. But that's one.
It used to be, so on the package it says Taylor pork roll, but it used to say Taylor ham, and then there was like some sort of lawsuit, and he had to change it to Taylor pork roll. So it used to be Taylor ham. So we're just old souls calling it what it originally was.
Right. So what did you rank it?
1.
Would you really put it
Well,
at 1?
You're putting it
Yeah,
at one?
I
that's a
can't
staple
because
of
I
New
know
Jersey.
Yeah, but pizza's going to be on there.
I'm gonna put pizza at 2 or 3 for sure. So, but Porkroll's a staple of New Jersey.
See, if it was like a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a bagel, then I would say 1.
But that's what I'm
Taylor
considering
ham,
it as.
well,
Like,
you're
I'm not
considering-
just eating
That's fair.
Taylor ham. I'm gonna eat a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. So I can't have a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese without Taylor ham.
All right, so I'll go with Taylor ham 1 with the caveat
The caveat.
asterisk that I am assuming it's a bagel sandwich with egg and cheese and salt,
All
pepper,
right.
and ketchup.
Well, yeah, that's okay. I already jumped to that conclusion when I ranked it 1.
Yeah, because how else would you eat it?
Yeah, I mean, I had bacon, egg, and cheese for the first 9 years of my life, and then somebody's like, "Oh, you should try Taylor ham, egg, and cheese," and that was the last time I had a bacon, egg, and cheese. I've never had a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich since the moment I tried Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
Right on.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. So we can go 1.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's
Okay,
the
so
case.
5 and 1 are taken.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Hoagies.
Oh,
So that's funny that you call them hoagies. We're North Jersey guys. We would probably call them subs. Hoagies
Okay.
is a South Jersey thing and a Philly thing. But we went to school in South Jersey / Philly area, so we know what hoagies are.
Okay.
so good. I'm gonna go 3.
I was
I'm gonna go
thinking
3.
3. I was thinking 3 also, but then pizza and bagels are out there.
Wait, I thought bagels was covered with pork roll.
Well, we're assuming that, but they
You're
might
you're assuming.
You're
that.
assuming.
Oh man, that's not gonna be good then.
So I feel like I got to go 4 for hoagies.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go 3 for hoagies because the chicken vodka parm from Pizza One is probably the greatest sandwich I've ever had in my entire life.
But I don't think that's considered a hoagie. Hoagie's cold cuts.
Oh, it has to be cold cuts.
Well,
No,
You-
hoagies
I
are
don't
hot
know.
subs.
I don't know.
Hoagies are hot subs.
That's so
I always
funny.
considered a sub
You
or a
want me
hoagie.
to read the definition of it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
According to this, hoagies, like a sandwich on overdrive, these hoagies, or subs as they're known in some parts of the states, are piled high with meats such as wait. What kind of meats are these? Sopressata?
Yeah. Prosciutto.
Prosciutto?
No, not prosciutto. Capicola?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ham. Capicola ham. That's cold
Okay,
cut.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds like a sub,
Yep.
like an Italian sub.
As
Yeah.
well as cheese, tomatoes, onions, pepper, herbs, oils, and more.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds like a cold sub.
Yeah, it's a sub.
I don't know, because you can get a hoagie and it can be like a meatball sub. So
Yes, but
If it's-
by this definition, he's giving us like an Italian hero.
yeah, but that was one
Which are some-
example. We get more examples.
That's the example that visitnewjersey.org gives us.
Maybe
And
ask
it-
ChatGPT what is a what is considered a hoagie. Because if it's
So-
hot, like if I can include the chicken vodka parm sub
I-
in hoagie, it's like 2 or 3. But if it's cold sub, I'm just gonna drop it at 4.
So here's what I would think. If that's the only example it gives, I would say that probably just means any kind of sandwich. And you guys are from Jersey. This is like what we don't know. We can only go by what it gives us. I would say whatever your definition of or what you're thinking of it is probably more accurate than fucking visitnewjersey.org.
Yeah.
True, they did say pork roll. So
Yeah.
I'm only
Yeah.
saying because I live in South
Yeah.
Jersey now. It's
It's
like
like-
say Taylor ham, they'll give me actual ham just as an FU.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's happened to us before. That happened to us in Princeton once.
I said Taylor. I was like, "Can I get a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese?" And they're like, "Ham?" And I was like, "Yeah, Taylor ham, egg, and cheese." They're like, "Okay."
At least they, yeah.
And then they gave me
they didn't even say
actual
that.
deli ham, and
They
it was
fucking
terrible.
deli ham on an egg sandwich. I was like,
What an
what
asshole.
the hell is
How
this?
dare they?
They
How dare
knew.
they give
They
you
fucking
ham when
knew,
you ask
too.
for ham?
They knew. Rude.
Yeah, they definitely knew. It was spite.
Oh my gosh. All right, Gibby, what do we
Wait,
got? What's next?
So we're putting that at 4?
Well, I think we can go 3 is probably safe based on Dan's definition. I could agree with 3.
And I
So
think
you
Dan
guys
was
have
going to go
1, 3, and 5 taken.
one, 3, and 5
Yeah,
taken.
it's a joint list, so we have to
Yeah.
agree. And I think
Yeah.
3
Okay,
is
okay.
compromise.
Oh, there we go.
Dan's-
Dan's back.
Other Dan's back.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, you good. You good.
How much of that did you hear?
None. We're at 1, 3, and 5.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I'm going honestly if it's hot hoagie, like and you're including the chicken vodka parm, I would put that at 2. No doubt.
I can't. I know pizza.
Because like, yeah, but I'll take that sandwich over pizza like any day, or like a Jersey Mike sub. I'll actually take over pizza. So, but
Okay, here's the next one. There's 3 options. This gives me 3 variations of it. So we have hot dogs, but not just regular hot dogs. We have Italian hot dogs, rippers, and a Texas wiener.
Oh yeah.
4.
Only because I know pizza's still out there. Yeah.
4?
So there's a couple good places up by where I'm from. This town called Clifton. They have Hot Grill, greatest Texas wiener in the world.
Yeah.
And they have Rutt's Hut, amazing rippers.
Yep. Rutt's Hut is on this list of try one here.
Yeah. Hot dogs is another Jersey staple that kind of gets looked over. We have great hot dogs here.
So is there a difference between a Texas wiener, a ripper, and a hot dog?
A ripper is fried.
What?
A ripper's deep fried. So it actually, like, they call it a ripper because it gets like cracks open and like rips open. Both really good. I like the Texas wiener a little bit better. You got to get them with gravy and cheese fries, whatever you get.
It's impressive that a Texas wiener has made it onto the Jersey's best food list, but
it has nothing to do with Texas.
Yeah.
They originated in Paris, Jersey.
Yeah. The Texas style, I guess, putting chili on stuff.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay.
But yeah, it's got to go 4. I probably would have put it above the sandwiches, but I didn't remember it, so it's
no shot
for both of us.
All right, your number 2 is tomato pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is it called tomato pie? I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
So do they mean like the tomato pie, like a pizza with no cheese?
I'll read the definition. Home to 2 of the most renowned tomato pie restaurants, their Trenton region is a great place to have a slice. Here, the pizza is built differently. First comes the thinly stretched dough, followed by crushed garlic, then grated mozzarella, followed by tomato sauce.
Yeah, it sounds just like a pizza.
Yeah, no, I've had a tomato pie. It's actually very good. Not my favorite kind of pizza, but it's very good. And
well, it's number 2 for sure.
Yeah, it's clearly better than everything else we've almost mentioned.
Oh,
it's still pizza. So
still pizza.
It's
And there's nothing more fucking pop punk than pizza, man.
No, there's actually a show. There was another podcast called, I think, like Pop Punk Pizza.
Yeah, it's Pop Punk and Pizza. Yeah, they're based out of Chicago.
That's a cool. I think they put us on like a playlist or something once.
Yeah, it used to be. It used to be run by gosh, I can't remember his name.
We just had this conversation every time.
No, we did. But he used to have people in studio and they would do the podcast while they were eating pizza.
Yeah.
Now it's run by a girl, and I think it's all done the same, like over Zoom and stuff. I don't think it's in studio, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. I do know it's changed.
Hey, I think it is over Zoom. The last time I saw an interview there, it was over Zoom.
Yeah, same.
But that might have been like pandemic era too.
I think mine was pretty recent, like a month ago. So, but who knows? Could be wrong. All right, our last food for thought question. It's the staple. Gibby's best question of all time. If Green Knuckle Material was a potato, what kind of potato would you be?
Sweet potato.
A bunch of sweetie pies.
Yeah,
I think it would be a
or a hot
smashed potato, like a smashed potato with or potato skins with like bacon and cheese.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, potato skins with bacon and cheese. Final answer. Maybe
Yeah,
some sour cream as well.
I can be on board with that.
I don't think we've gotten potato skins before, Gibby.
I don't
That's a
think
new
so.
one.
I think that's a first.
You ever get potato salad?
Potato, like, no, we haven't had
No, we
potato
haven't that
salad
one
yet.
either.
Yeah, potato salad's good too.
Dude, potato salad's delicious. Are you a like a original potato salad, or are you like a mustard potato salad?
No,
Which way do you
like
go?
the original one with the mayo. You put a little salt on it. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Some chopped up onions,
Oh
maybe
yeah.
some egg.
Oh, you gotta have egg.
Yeah.
You
Well,
gotta have egg.
ensalada rusa is what my wife calls it because she's Uruguayan. So it's like
All right.
they love potato salad apparently there.
It's delicious. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
One of my favorite potato ways to eat a potato. Favorite way to eat a potato. Love it. One of. There's lots of good ways to eat
A lot of
potatoes.
good ways to eat potatoes.
It's true. All right, that's it for the food for thought segment. Now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
This is it. You're just gonna speak from the heart. You're gonna shoot from the hip. Whatever the first thing that pops into your head, you go with it. Even
This is dangerous.
Yep. Friendships get tested here, okay? Even if it's your answer is not one of the two options presented before you, you speak your truth. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready.
All right. Monster Energy or Rockstar?
Either.
I'd rather die.
That is
Okay.
intense. That is intense. Okay. Pop punk or emo?
Emo.
Emo.
All right. Taylor Swift or John Mayer?
John Mayer.
John Mayer.
Nice. Skinny jeans or baggy pants?
Skinny.
Skinny jeans.
Disney Plus or Netflix?
Netflix.
Raw's on Netflix. Come on.
What's on Netflix? What was that?
Raw's on
Monday
Netflix.
Night Raw.
Oh, Raw. Yeah, Raw. That's
That's a
fair.
good point.
That's fair. Stuffed crust or deep dish pizza?
Stuffed crust.
Yeah, agreed.
Dude, stuffed crust so good.
Yeah.
Vans or Chuck Taylors?
Vans.
I don't know what Chuck Taylor's are. Vans.
Converse.
Converse.
I used to wear Converse, but now I'll go Vans.
Okay. Last question. The All-American Rejects or the Offspring?
Offspring.
The Offspring.
Nice. So Gibby, they picked the Offspring but didn't know Chuck Taylor's.
I was about to ask.
That that doesn't make
I mean,
sense.
I knew what they were.
Yes. No,
Well, if you said Converse,
well, right, but nobody calls Converse Chuck. Nobody calls Chuck Taylor's Converse. They're always Chuck Taylor's. But we talked about this.
That's not out here. We call them Converse.
Really? Okay, I have
So-
never heard them called Converse. Like at least those shoes.
you know what?
So
I'm
this is
actually
my
changing
favorite
answer.
excuse.
I'm going All American Rejects.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
fair enough.
This is my theory. Pat's an old head and just calls him Chuck Taylor still.
Yeah.
Because
That's what they're
back in
called.
the day, that's what they were called, even though they were still Converses.
They're Chuck Taylor All Stars. That is
So they're the Taylor Ham. Whoa, interesting. Chuck Taylor and Taylor Ham are both the old soul way of saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Something
the
about
thing
Taylor.
is okay. So Converse is the brand. The style of shoe is called the Chuck Taylor All Stars. That is.
So this
That's-
is like a pork roll Taylor ham debate.
Yeah, it's the same kind of.
It's the same shoe, just two different names.
And it's the same meat, just two different names, and one of them is the correct name.
Exactly. But what we discussed is like Gibby was saying, like if you choose the offspring, typically you are older, you're above like in your mid 30s or older, and so you would know what Chuck Taylors are. If you're younger, you know, in your like especially early 20s, you're gonna pick the All American Rejects, and you have
I would
no
say like
idea what
30
Chuck
under.
30 and under.
Yeah, because I just turned 30 and I'd still pick All American Rejects.
That's fair, yeah. But this was just like the logic that we had like have learned over the course of asking these specific questions.
Yeah,
This is
I just like Offspring's music better.
I think they're both great.
You know, we actually know the guitar player for All American Rejects. He just got hired because we toured with this band called Ballyhoo, and their guitar player got hired by All American Rejects. So he left them and went to go play with them.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, he's
That's
really
real cool.
talented. I think he doesn't even play guitar for them. I think he plays keyboard.
Okay,
He's one of those super talented multi-instrumentalists.
that's awesome. Well, guys, Dan, you did it. You finished the podcast. Now's your chance to let everybody know what you got going on, where they could find you, and what's next.
Beg for a Tour starts Friday, March 14th, Yonkers. Buy tickets, come out to shows, listen to Beg for It, and be ready to rock.
All right. Find you on all socials.
Yep, at GKM Band on socials, Spotify, give us a follow. Apple Music. We actually just got Beg for It was added to a Apple Music official playlist.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So that was a first for us. We've never been added to any official playlist.
Amazing.
So it's a start. You know, we got on an Apple Music one.
Yeah,
And
that's
other
huge.
than that, Cody Rhodes, Bring Back Stardust.
Well, hell yeah, guys. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for bearing with our bad Jersey jokes and humor and poking. It's all good fun. We love you. We love New Jersey. But yeah, this has been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. We'll see you all on Monday. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.